Da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-dum. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Codenames from CGE. This is for 2 to 8 players plus. Take about 15 minutes to play. It's for ages 14 plus. And in Codenames, you're going to be playing as top secret spies, trying to guess code names with the help of a code master who's going to give you clues. It's actually a party word game with some interesting aspects sprinkled in here and there. But is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Codenames. First and foremost, we got our handy dandy rule booklet. It's 8 pages, double-sided, full color, full of pictures, illustrations, and examples when you do need them. It's a very well done rule booklet. It'll have you up and running in no time at all, and actually, I can probably teach you the game right now. So in Codenames, you're going to break up into 2 teams, and there's going to be a red team, there's going to be a blue team, and then you're going to decide who is the code master, who's going to be trying to give you clues to guess the various different words that are going to be spread out on a 5x5 grid. There are tons of words, and they're double-sided, so you're never going to run into duplicate words or samey words, which is really nice. So we'll go over the components, we'll get into the gameplay. So first and foremost, component-wise, you're going to have the sand timer. You're never going to use it. This is for people who have, I guess, extreme analysis paralysis, but to be brutally honest, you'll probably never use it. So, next you're going to have 2 teams. You're going to have the red team, and you're going to have the blue team. These are flipped over. They're double-sided, one for men, one for women. Always a nice little touch when they do that. And that is going to go in front of the code master. Also, this one is as well. Your job is to get all of your code masters on your words before your other team does that. You'll also notice that there are innocent bystander cards right here, because you might accidentally assassinate innocent bystanders, both ladies and gentlemen. Very non-sexist. I like that. And then we also have this little one right here. This is the assassin, which if you get on the assassin, you immediately lose the game. So I'm not quite sure why you even need this, because if you hit on it, then you automatically lose. But that's neither here nor there. So you're going to set out a 5x5 grid of words completely randomly. Just shuffle them up and set them out. Then you're going to take one of these cards right here and set it in this little display right here, and you will be ready to play the game. So first thing I want to point out is on the outside, it's going to tell you which team is going to go first. So in this scenario, the red team is going to go first. Let's set it in the little stand, and I'll show you how this works. So essentially, all of the red spots are red cards. So for instance, we would have the words bank, glove, duck, orange, alien, pumpkin, fork, skyscraper, lead. All the blue ones are for the blue team. So they'd have France and needle and all, spine, fall, jam, so on and so forth. And then in the middle, as you can see in this particular scenario, and this card is in the middle, but in other spots it might be somewhere else, is going to be the death word. So essentially, if your team picks that word, you automatically lose the game, which is obviously a bad thing. So on your turn, what you're going to do is the spy master, the person who's saying the words, is going to look at all the words out here, and they're going to give a clue to their team. They can say one word and then a number. And that number is going to correspond to how many the other team is going to be able to pick, or should be able to pick. So let's look at what we got here. We got bank, glove, duck, skyscraper, pumpkin, alien, fork, orange. So, you know what? There's torch right here. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to give helpful clues that will get your team to guess your words, but not guess the other player's words, or especially not this word right here. So you might say, like, you would think, Halloween might not be a bad one. So you might say Halloween 2, because you're like, orange, pumpkin, that seems like a really good one. But at the same time, you have to look and say, oh, there's fall right there, and there's witch right here. So giving the clues can be very difficult at various different times. So we got bank, we got glove, we got orange, we have alien, pumpkin. So my clue might be, I'll start off nice and simple, and I will say quack 1. So this would be a pretty easy one. Most of the time, they would know, oh, it's duck, and they would go ahead and touch it, and they would go boom. Now, they also have the option to guess one more if they would like. Now, in this particular example, they probably would not want to do that, but in further examples, they might say, oh, I remember when he gave us that clue, so maybe this is how that works. So next, the blue team would go, and they might say, we got jam, fall, spine, needle, France. So they might say, I don't know, circle, star. They might say shape 2. And this is a pretty good one right here, because they're obviously circle and star. Let's see, are there any other shapes really out here? Not so much. So they would probably get both these. They'd probably point to the circle, boom, 5 point to the star, boom. Now let's just pretend they didn't. Let's just say that they went, and for some crazy reason they went cap. And so that they pointed at cap, we'd look on here and we'd say, oh, that one is an innocent bystander. You'd put an innocent bystander on there, and their round would immediately end. So let's pretend that they picked one of ours. For some reason they put orange, because an orange is round, right? That's a shape. If they do that, then we would get one of ours on there, which would be great for the red team, and their turn would immediately end, and it would go back to the red team. If anyone ever picks the black one, the game immediately ends, and that team immediately loses. And you go until a team has picked all of their coded cards. They are going to be the winner of the game. If you'd like to play again, you just flip over the cards, bada boom, get a new one of these guys, and you are good to go. But that, in a nutshell, is how Codenames is played. Alright then, Codenames from CGE. What are my final thoughts? Let's go with the pros, let's go with the cons. First, on the con side, the game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. It's a very quick game. If you're looking for something on the meatier side, even on the meatier party game side, like your Resistance, your Coup, stuff like that, this one's not going to be for you. Also, it is a party game. First and foremost, this is a party game. Now, it works in some other situations, but if you don't like party games, if you don't routinely get party games to the table, this one might not be for you. Also, the game is repetitive. You're going to be doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. There's nothing that is ever going to change about the game, which is going to be a turn off for some people. There's not really numerous paths to victory, blah, blah, blah. Typical other party game things. Artwork, there's not too much artwork. You'll have some on your agent cards and on the bystander cards, but other than that, you're really just getting words, 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 and more words. And that's what I got on the con side, because moving on to the pro side, Codenames is fantastic. Slap a Bowers best seal on it. This is one of my favorite party games of all time. And I remember hearing about this at Gen Con, hearing whispers about this game at Gen Con. I was like, I gotta play this game. I gotta play this game. And when I played it, I was like, whoa, this is so simple, but this is so much fun. So what do I love about this game? First and foremost, simple to learn, simple to teach. Always a good thing. You can have this thing out of the box, set up, and explained in under 5 minutes. Big, big plus on that for the party game genre. Next, this is good enough to be played as a filler game on a game night, or an end-of-the-night game on a game night, or a gateway game, family get-together game. This game is a chameleon. You can have this game in just about every game bag you pack, whether or not you're playing with heavy Euro gamers who are just planning on playing 2-3 hour games, or your typical game night, because those Euro gamers might just slap it in the middle when everybody's going to the bathroom, getting food or whatnot in between the meaty games and the game night games. People love this game. I have yet to find anyone who doesn't enjoy the game. Now, I almost forgot to mention this in the pros and the cons. Couple things I forgot to mention before I start, slobbering all over this game. First and foremost, when you get to the higher player counts, you lose a little bit of control because you are on teams, which essentially just means you're just going to be there with 3-4 people, and you're all deciding together which cards you are going to point at or not point at. So that is going to be a turn off. Some people, you lose control with the higher player numbers. Also, some people are not going to like the 2- and 3-player version of the game. Now, I personally really enjoyed the 3-player version of the game. I like that an awful lot. I like being the people trying to guess the words, and I really like being the code master, because both people are like, come on, give me a good clue, give me a good clue, and they get frustrated with you, and I like that an awful lot. Some people will not. 2 players is good. I like 2 players in the aspect of teaching the game. Like, you say, all right, I want to teach you this game before we play it on game night, hon. And so you can teach it very, very simple like that. But as an actual 2-player game, I don't think this is one you're going to reach for too terribly often, even though I feel like a touchscreen implementation of this on a tablet or something would be fantastic and would be really cool for 2 players. Component-wise, very nice components. They include tons and tons and tons of code words, which is fantastic. The cards are double-sided. The artwork's pretty good for what minimalist artwork there is. The rules are very good and will have you up and running in no time at all. And in fact, there's just like a page and a half of them just going over like slight rules, like which rules are permanent and which rules are flexible. And really, it's mostly just house rules. Like, oh, you can't do that, you can do that. Now, you can confer to the rule booklet, but this is definitely a house ruleable game. Overall, though, if you could not tell, Codenames is outstanding. I love Codenames. This is just one of those go-to party games for me from this point forward. It plays well. It plays well at very different player counts, and it's quick, I just love it. So that is Codenames from CGE. Vlada Shvaddle has hit another home run, at least in my personal opinion. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, would you like to be a super secret spy agent? Would you like to just leave everything behind, your family, your job, your bills and everything, and then just be this super secret person going around and swooning beautiful men/women and fighting with guns and getting cool gadgetry, but at the same time putting your life on the line, getting into fist fights, probably developing an alcohol/drug problem? Would you do that? For me personally, before I had a family, I would have said absolutely. That sounds like the coolest thing ever. But now that I've had a family, and it's like, oh man, I really kind of want to watch my son grow up, and all this sort of good stuff, I'd say no. But when I was younger, you better believe I would have loved to have been a spy. Let me know in the comments below. Would you like to be a spy? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.